Hi, everybody. I'm Louis Bala, partner here at Nuage. I'm joined with Glenn Saunders, the head of Stratus at Nuage. Today, we're going to be covering enhanced user interface and experience in our web series related to a white paper we put out regarding our customer challenges in 2023. 2023, we conducted an extensive analysis examining over 2,000 NetSuite work packet tasks submitted by our customers. Our objective is to continuously refine and enhance our Stratus managed service offering. We're joined with Glenn Saunders, as noted. Glenn, thank you for joining us. Let's dive into enhanced user interface and experience. What did you see in 2023? What are you seeing today, and where are we going?
Yeah, I think a lot of organizations have started to understand keeping it simple from a UI perspective, making it easy and intuitive, particularly as you have larger organizations, right? Because you only have 5 people interacting in the same screen every day, and it shouldn't be different across different users, different forms, things like that. I'm also I think NetSuite's doing a lot of things to kind of improve some of the layout and the designs that they're delivering. And I think we're going to continue to see that. You see it with some of the new suite apps that they built, Cache 360, Item 360, which a lot of those leverage the analytics workbook, right? But then you also have like the way inbound shipments page interacts, the way the cost of the material, the projects is a big one that changed pretty dramatically with the work breakdown structure and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to continue to see some of the refactoring of that. And ultimately, it's going to lead to a better user experience. I think one of the things NetSuite is probably going to continue to push on is more real-time contextual data on pages. And I'm excited to see that come because, if I'm putting in a sales order for a customer, it'd be really nice if the customer information, beyond just the name and the address and that, like key analytics data would pop up in where that total box is nearby there to say, here's their outstanding balance, here's this, here's the last invoice, the last communication, stuff like that, just to drive better information dissemination throughout the organization and a more cohesive user experience with those things. So, I think it's exciting. You know, you and I have been in this long enough. We were around the last time NetSuite did a redesign, which I think it took them about 4 years. So I think that finally released in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, 2017. But you know, as technology evolves, NetSuite's doing such a great job of staying out there, staying ahead of the curve from an ERP system, which is really hard to do. It's why we had so much legacy technical debt in the older systems that we used to work with, like the Epicors, the Lawson, some of the dynamic products that have evolved into new things. So I'm definitely excited to see how NetSuite continues to evolve in that fashion and just make it easier for customers to get at their data and their information.
And when you're working with organizations, and you look at the UI as it relates to a specific role, we're starting to finally see most of the groups we're working with have some form of suite success. The individuals who did not are starting to see a little bit more of that with renewals and upgrades and the rest. You're still taking advantage of a lot of the pre-built roles dashboards that you're seeing with suite success based off of each vertical, and anything you like there, or you'd like to have the Stratus team focus a little bit more on just driving better experience?
I think one of the things that is completely, it's not a secret, but all the searches that come with suite success that hang off of the item, the customer, or the vendor, you can take those and in about 90 seconds, change that report, put it for all customers. You want to see a customer scorecard? Oh, boom, I want to see it by all customers. Maybe I want to see it by customer category. I leverage that all the time and encourage our Stratus team as well. Another thing, and just from a UI perspective, that a lot of customers don't realize is how they can create a search and then put it on a sub list of a record. So I'm looking on an item and I want to see this information about it. Oh, you can create a search that then filters by that item and boom, it's on a sub list. In the same way that those reports that drive from the item 360, the customer 360, the vendor 360 do. So we still take very much advantage of that to provide more information to customers where they need it from those pages or sales orders. Or one of the things I've done quite a bit for customers is when they're loading up a sales order, they want to be able to see available to sell, which and granted, if you have multiple monitors, tabs, that sort of thing, but you can also do it in the sub tab across inside the NetSuite application, and you just can filter as you go through. Mm-hmm. How much do I have here? What's my inventory value? What status? What lots? All right there on that sales order without having to leave that page.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the basics of adding the file attachments suite app on the top right of most pages, the color coding. A lot of these things are, they're overlooked, but just drive such tremendous enhancement to the experience. Any other kind of quick wins you're seeing from an enhanced user interface?
I think cleaning up some of the, sometimes with Suite Success, you may buy a particular vertical, but you don't need that feature. One of the ones that drives me insane is like the rebates. And I get it. If you have rebates, it's a good solution. But it adds so many different fields and scripts and stuff. And just taking time of like, why is this on this form? And just that's one thing we do in Stratus as we go through is like, why is this here? Are you using this for anything? So that we can reduce that, the number of visual elements that are displayed on the page. And then guess what? You can do some cool stuff. I was talking with Brian the other day on my team about how to draw like an HTML table, which I've done for customers, as you know, like on the form. So you want to dynamically display some data in like a table. Well, guess what? You can do that using HTML and SweetScript. You just have to know how to do it. So you can start to build some of those value adds into the process.
That's fantastic. What do you think? I mean, beyond NetSuite just continuously updating, I think there's definitely more emphasis on the UI. You look at some ancillary products, Salesforce, HubSpot, I think is fantastic from a UI perspective.
Yeah.
It seems like NetSuite's taking note. They're driving a little bit more, as we've seen just over the last year with some of the small tinkers. Any critical areas you think we're going to start seeing, especially as it relates to the AI features they're starting to tout? I think we're going to get a chat bot sooner than later.
I think the chat bot's going to happen really soon.
Yeah.
It's not that, it wouldn't be that hard to train up a chat bot on the NetSuite where you can just ask it questions contextually on the page. I know that that actually is coming, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check my notes, but I'm pretty sure that is coming in the next release or two. As you know, with NetSuite, sometimes things get pushed off a release. Yeah. They may say it's coming in April, but we really mean October. One of the things I would love to see personally is, how you can build your dashboard and you can put different elements. I think if you could design your own page, like have a page designer where I could design my own sales order page. Customer goes here, I can have a report here, I can have just the item list, shipping, and kind of build something that's specific to the way I want to interact as a customer, not necessarily a user, but as a customer, to display key elements. I think that would be really cool and more of a dashboard feel than just a page feel. I know I've had some customers ask about that in the past, and I do think that would be kind of the next step in the UI evolution for NetSuite, in my opinion.
Very cool. Well, to our listeners, we appreciate you joining us for this web series regarding enhanced user interface and experience. On behalf of Glenn Saunders and myself, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you soon. All right.